Hi there, I'm Mary. I am a potter with Potter's Perch. I've got a kiln opening. I actually am going to have another kiln opening because it's running right now again. I am going to a show on Saturday, so trying to wrap up all those last minute things. A lot of work to get to these shows to sell the pottery. So I am a hobby potter. This isn't how I pay my bills. But I make a lot of pottery and I have to, I need to sell it and I need to recoup some of that money that I've spent on glaze. So here's a few things I've got. Most of this are serving platters, flatware that just didn't have a lot of that kind of thing. I had a lot of mugs and bowls, but I did not have a lot of serving platters. And then the flower plates that I started doing, people kind of went crazy for those, so I tried to get several out. I've got more downstairs going right now. So a couple of big flops that made me pretty sad, but this is life. So I'm going to start with some good stuff and we'll do the flops in the middle so it's not all such a downer. I love the botanical looking pieces. So this is a glaze that I mix up. It is Chun Green is the name of the glaze. It is so easy to use. So this is, if any of you are familiar with a burdock leaf, that is what made the imprint. And then I've just got a real small foot ring. I like to put a foot on. It makes glazing it much easier. I don't have to wax the whole back. I just take care of that and I'm good to go. I use a little manganese wash in the texture and it showed up a little bit, but not like I was expecting. So I have a pair, not the same leaf. Oh, that one's got something on it. But they're a super cute set. All of my glazes coming out today are going to be very, very summery. That's just the mood I'm in. It's July, it should be summery. The ever popular fern leaf, I've got a couple more fern platters in the basement, a different design. But this one, I do not put a foot on it because of I'm using a slump mold when I make this. And by the time I get the underglaze dry enough that I can peel out the fern, it has become too dry to get a foot on the back of it. So this one, this is a smooth base. But this is one of those wow pieces. This always gets a lot of attention and gets sold very quickly. So I have one that is this oval shape and then I have two square platters that are in the kiln right now. See if I can get a hold of these. The flower plates and bowls, I showed those in my last kiln opening, and I had like a soup bowl with a plate. The soup bowls that I've got are in the kiln right now, but I did just a lot of experimenting with that form. I have a texture mat that I'm using. It was actually a hot pad with its intended use, a silicone hot pad. I should have brought that up. I'll show it with the next video. So the ones I did in the first video were very similar to this, but this is pitch black from Clayscapes as the center. And then I have pearl white as a base, front and back. And you know what I really love about Spectrum besides how nice they turn out? It floats on so easily when you're brushing. and you need 2 coats, not 3 or 4 coats. So it is a lot quicker process. You don't use as much glaze. I really appreciate that. So this is underneath pearl white, and then swipes of autumn purple, reactive red, and then there's some kimchi in there. I used a lot of reactive red in this batch, and I'm really pleased with how it is working with those floating glazes. This one, and it has a mate that's coming through real burgundy is what it looks like on the camera from here, but this is actually bright purple. Oh my gosh, I have clay on everything. Bright purple, and then in the center I have pitch black again. And then I was trying to get some fade with the reactive red. I don't know that it worked out exactly like I wanted. And then I put some blue hydrangea on top of that purple, and it gives you those gold flecks. So that is super cute. Again, like the one I showed you before. And then this is more of a plate form, more of a bowl form. And I thought I could display them like that. Gonna kind of set it up kind of like a mix and match this time. I have more. This one was cracked, so I'm going to use this one for myself. It cracked in the bisque, so you can see that these are very prone to cracking. Just where this texture is at, it makes a natural crack. You've really got to work at smoothing it out and compressing it. So this glaze, I think maybe I didn't have my coastal blue stirred up like I should, because I have a couple of pieces that were a little disappointing. This should look like, we'll skip ahead. It should look like this with the, can you see the temaku on the rim? So I've got the third one, a bigger piece, is in the kiln right now. I had a texture, a piece of fabric, using that for a texture. These turned out super cute. A little nesting set, and there will be a third one. I'll probably put like a bamboo knife with it to display it, because I'm kind of thinking, you know, if you had your chips and that kind of thing, you could put, you know, hard cheeses or however, little hors d'oeuvre platters. This piece, big disappointment. I'm gonna put it out and see if anybody is interested, because there's technically nothing wrong with it. It's just not what I wanted. I wanted this glaze effect with that beautiful iridescent blue and then the temaku brown showing on the rims. And I got a real, almost orange peel effect. And same thing again, we talked about this in the last kiln opening. I was having problems with cracking on my chip dip, so I threw the pieces separately instead of all at once, all together, and then thought I would try and attach them with the glaze. This is the last of the pieces. I am abandoning that idea because it has not fared well for me. As you can see, the bowl, the bowl is not on center, but I am just not happy with the way that glaze turned out. So I'm wondering, because there was that piece and then this piece, it should have that real iridescent blue, and I'm wondering if I just didn't have my coastal blue mixed up well enough. It was getting very late at night when I was glazing, and I had been at it for a while and I was exhausted. I've got some little bitty test pieces. I had somebody at the show, the last show I was at, that wanted, she sent me some photos of some colors she was looking for like ring dishes, things in her bathroom that go with, she's got kind of an oceany look in there. So this is that Chun green again, and you can see that here. And then on this textured rim, I've put pearl white, and it has got a lot of crystals and some movement, but it covered really nicely. It didn't crawl, it didn't craze. I will be using that effect in the future. That played really nice together. So this Chun green and the bright purple, I know the bright purple is on Glazes, but I will see if I can figure out how to attach those recipes to the video. They're nice glazes to use. This is a nice glaze that you put it on and it just comes out. You can make a big enough bucket that you can dip it. So another little experiment, when I'm doing this hand building, these little extra pieces of clay, because hand building to me, the big learning curve on that is letting my clay get firm enough that I can build with it without it collapsing and cracking. It's got to be soft enough. I can stretch it a little bit firm enough that it can hold itself up. So by the time I am cutting things out, sometimes the clay is too far firm to wedge back up and put in the bag. So I like to use it up. So I have a couple of little, like this, that's what I created this. You can see on the back, it's got it too. So I have a couple of little bisqued wools down there that I will form, just take some of those scraps of clay, form them in there, and then use them for testers on things. And I'm not wasting a piece that I worked really hard on. And then when I'm done with them, I can, if they've turned out, I can take them to the sale, and people like them for tea bag holders, ring dishes, etc. This recipe is June Perry Aquamarine, and it is, once again, really nice glaze to use. I dipped this in. It covers nicely, it fires nicely, I don't have pinholes, I don't have crawling. I'll include the specific gravity. I do try to check my specific gravity. If not every time I'm glazing, then every couple of times, because that can really cause some big destruction on your pieces. So there's some technical terms. So that is the color that I am working with. And then I have these little trinket dishes and a couple of pendants, and I was really surprised at the results. So I took this piece, I could see that, you know, it's translucent, it's acting like a Celedon, breaking white. I'm assuming that's the clay color I'm seeing, that white. So I thought, well, could I do some black underglaze on it and have it come out a different, you know, stand out a different color. So with black underglaze, this piece, this glaze, I just underglazed that little cute little, oh, I got them upside down, cute little butterfly pattern. And then I just put little bitty button feet on the bottom of it. It's a really cute, these are just little GR pottery form, little rectangle forms. But it changed that glaze. All I did, I dipped it in this glaze, but it had black underglaze on it, and that is the difference. That amazed me. The other one that I tried stayed a little bit truer to the glaze color, but I did manganese wash over the texture. So I would say both of those are successful, just depending on how you want to do it. This is a necklace pendant with the black underglaze, and I think that turned out really sharp. And that is with the manganese wash. So when I get that black on there, it really takes the blue and goes purple with it. I have shown this glaze on some other pieces. Oh, the big huge vase with the peacock on it. This is that same glaze. I'd really like a spray booth for this glaze. I think this glaze needs to go on super thin. So this is a leaf. I believe it was a sycamore leaf, and I don't believe that the lights are allowing that to come through. This is blue spruce out of John Britt's mid-range book, and it is the nicest feeling glaze. It is so silky and satin, and the bowl is, there's nothing wrong with the serving dish. It's almost too blue, so I need to find a cover glaze that maybe I could get some motion around the rim. I had posted this glaze on a Facebook page, and somebody was concerned that it was so heavy on cobalt. I think it's at like 3% cobalt. That it was so heavy on cobalt that it would leach out. And I did do a lemon test, and it is staying stable, but I'm not putting it inside of mugs. If I'm doing a mug with it, I'll put some black on the inside. So anyways, once again, cute little foot, easy peasy. Use the corn cob holder technique. Maybe I didn't show that to you. I'm not sure, but I'll show that to you sometime. Here's a failure, and I liked this so much, so I'm kind of sad. I got a little carried away. This is one of the problems about glazing late at night. Excuse me. I just put way too much kimchi on it, and I'm guessing that I lost track of how many coats I was at. So I made this nice colander. As you can see, it's welded to the cookie I put it on. Thank goodness I put it on a cookie. But all of the holes, I think I could probably get it off the cookie, but it has sealed up all of the holes. So I may take it off from the cookie and it may become a planter. There's a few that are open, but the bulk of them are glazed shut. But that is, I do love the kimchi. That is just a beautiful glaze, but too much of it. And then I've got a lot more of the flower dishes that took up most of the room in my kiln. This one, this is, it's either sangria or reactive red. I think it's sangria. No, it's reactive red. So that is the reactive red, and then in the center, this center is actually purplish. If you put reactive red on pitch black is from Clayscapes, reactive red is Spectrum, it will go purple. And then once again, pearl white, kimchi, autumn purple, I believe that's where I'm getting that blue from. So I have a lot of those. That's the bulk of what was coming through there. And then some other small, once again, extra clay left over. This is autumn purple on red brown clay from Runyon Pottery Supply. This is folk art white gild, which is a mixed glaze, and Ashley's Best over the top of it. And that comes out a real muted, soft purple. I don't know if it would be dinnerware safe. I think it might really scratch. So this is just, once again, a spoon rest. And then the last piece, and I'm not thrilled with this one either. And everything worked perfectly, except I don't like the way that I glazed it. So the idea was sapphire float, sandstone, sapphire float from Amico, sandstone from Mako, light flux from Mako. But I don't like the way that I put it in there. I'm gonna take it, I'm not gonna reglaze it, I'm not gonna refire it this time. I'm gonna take it and see if it catches somebody's eye. Everybody is different. And see if it goes. If it doesn't, then I'll probably bring it back and refire it. I also have, this is something else I do to use up those scrap pieces, is I will make some jewelry. So I've got little different shaped cookie cutters, and then that's a bisque stamp that I've got. Put a little high fire wire, and then it is, once again, folk art white gild with Ashley's Best over the top of it. Gives kind of a purplish, and the folk art white gild, folk art gild white, that is so confusing, actually showed through a little bit of the red iron oxide there. This one, same setup, and my thought is, I think they're a little too big and heavy for an earring. I don't know, maybe I'll try it. I was thinking more of a pendant is what I was thinking for these. And once again, this is the Starry Night and the Coastal Blue, and then the Chun Green. Just a little tear-shaped cookie cutter, and then a bisque leaf stamp. It wants to focus on me, I guess. There you go. So those are cute. That I kind of like having those out. I don't have real expensive hardware that goes with the necklaces and the earrings. So it's something I can put out for, you know, 15 bucks, 12 bucks, and that gives people something. And same thing for these little ring dishes. It's something inexpensive I can have out on the table, so if somebody really wants some handmade pottery and they just don't have enough cash with them, they can still get something, or little kids sometimes like that. So that is what I have. I expect I will have another glaze video coming out soon. I'll try and get these recipes that I have linked on here. But today, most of what I used was Clayscapes and Spectrum. I would really highly recommend. I don't know if people are really that aware of Clayscapes, but they've got a really nice line of glazes that are, I believe, more affordable than what maybe Amico is. So I'm a glaze junkie, so you know. I like all of it. So I will see you in the next video.